Give and take. What goes around comes around. Karma's a bitch. Or as Ralph Waldo Emerson more eloquently puts it, pay every debt as if God wrote the bill. The idea of reciprocation, our 28th mental model in this 30 and 30 series, has been ingrained in us since the beginning of time. No other animal functions by this system. So why do we feel the need to reciprocate? What makes it so important to us? And while it is usually considered to be a positive character trait, how is it used so often against us? Let's find out. We all know, or should know, what reciprocation is. The rule states that we should try to repay in kind what another person has provided to us. Invitations, gifts, favors, whatever you like. And if you do not, you run the risk of being considered a leech, a moocher, a freeloader. Multiple archaeologists even subscribe to the notion that reciprocity is at the very essence of what makes us human. Archaeologist Richard Leakey notes that our ancestors, by adhering to the system of sharing food and skills in an outer network of obligation, were able to stay alive. Others call it a web of indebtedness, allowing for division of labor, exchange of diverse goods and services. Think about it. Without the underlying construct of reciprocity, our ancestors would have never felt comfortable giving somebody one of their personal resources at risk of losing it. With this system of obligation and interdependence built, societies too followed and humankind progressed. Well, kind of. So first of all credit here goes to Robert Cialdini, who is the mastermind behind the studying of influence and reciprocity. In this book, he states that there are three main reasons why reciprocity is so prevalent. The first is that the rule of reciprocity is overpowering. This is well evidenced in political maneuvering. If you've ever watched House of Cards, you've seen conniving Frank Underwood use this to his benefit. Politicians will vote for something on the premise that you must give something back in return. Smaller religious groups, or fake ones, will abuse this to raise money for their causes by walking through tourist destinations and passing out small tokens. Because at the moment they have gifted you an item, you feel indebted to give something back. That's the dilemma, by the way, it's super legit. The second is that the rule enforces uninvited debts. A person can trigger a feeling of indebtedness by doing us an uninvited favor. You're invited to their wedding, add them to your list. A great study demonstrating this was conducted in restaurants and showed that when servers left a mint on the check at the end of their patron's meal, it increased tips 3%. But if the gift was doubled and 2 mints were provided, the tips didn't double. They quadrupled, an extra 14% increase in tips. But perhaps most interestingly at all, if a waiter provides 1 mint, walks away and pauses and says, you know what, wait, for you nice people, let me give you another mint. Tips go through the roof. An extra 23% increase influenced not by what was given, but how it was given. Lastly, the rule can trigger unfair exchanges. This happened to Cialdini himself. He was approached by a Boy Scout on the street selling $5 tickets to their upcoming circus show that Saturday night. Needless, Cialdini didn't want to go. When he declined the Boy Scout's offer, the Boy Scout asked, okay, well, if you don't want to buy any tickets, would you like a chocolate bar? They're only $1 each. Cialdini didn't even like chocolate, yet he found himself walking away with a couple of chocolate bars. Cialdini was super confused. He worked out with his research assistant that 2 things happened. First, the general rule of reciprocity states that the person who generates the first action is entitled to a similar return action. The important thing here is that the first person decides on the indebtedness. It wasn't Cialdini's choice. Cialdini liked money, yet he still felt compelled to give it away for a chocolate bar. Second, the Boy Scout made a concession. No tickets? Okay, how about cheaper chocolate bars? Reciprocity states that we make concessions back to those who make concessions to us. So we've only touched the tip of the iceberg here. I'm sure you can imagine the benefit of knowing this for negotiation and influence. So if you enjoyed this subject, check out Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. It's been incredibly beneficial for me during this entire series, and there's a lot more where today came from in here. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.